All right, welcome back, friends and family. My name is Adam. I go by Coach Hardgains. That's the name of my coaching platform. A question that I get asked all the time. I mean, no matter how many videos I put out about my spinal fusion, a question that I get asked so frequently is, was your spinal fusion worth it? And to be completely upfront, some days yes, some days no. Some days absolutely not. Some days I wish I didn't. And frankly, it does kind of depend on the good day, bad day, worst days, horrible days. Because there's really no good days. There's just tolerable days, bad days, worst days, hellish days. Decent days, slightly above tolerable. But there comes a point where pain management doesn't do anything for you. It stops working. And you have to try different things and realign your body to new methods. And then, you're in pain for a while until you find something else that works. And my spinal fusion was due to years of abuse to my back. Started out in college. I was in a touring rock band and I was a performing artist, and then I was a music producer and engineer. So between either performing and being on stage with my guitar down here below my crotch and swinging my guitar around my neck, or being in the studio as a producer and engineer sitting behind a huge board, leaning over a soundboard, staring at monitors up here, for 12, 14, 16, sometimes 20 hours at a time to produce a track or an album. Then as I got older and I decided to leave the music industry, I've opened many other companies. So I started my tree service, Chip Chop and Grind, and we went into landscaping, and I became a climbing arborist, and I just became very passionate about that. And I love to work, and I don't like to sit still. And besides being ADHD and also having a brain injury, a TBI, from getting cracked in the skull by the back end of one of my dump trucks. ADHD, I guess, keeps me moving. But I've always been a mover and a shaker, and I don't like sitting still. My back just deteriorated. L4, L5 blew out completely as a climber. My vertebrae just smashed it to pieces. It was in particles floating all around my back, my lower lumbar, and then my vertebrae. You'll see in this picture here, this image, my two vertebrae were chipping off at the corners from climbing, opening, closing, opening, closing. I was always in pain from the chips of bone between my vertebrae, but at least I could function. Okay, this is all pre-spinal fusion. At least I could function. And I could take ibuprofen or oxy or Dilaudid or eventually KRATOM. 9 years ago I found KRATOM, and I've been a daily user ever since. There were always options for me to manage and mitigate my pain. And I felt like I could still live my life. I mean, I was still performing in another band. I was in a great band called Killer Kind. This was us. I could still do shows. I could still sling my guitar down and rock out on stage and enjoy life and love it. And the three main things in my life were making love, riding motorcycles, and playing music. Those were my three passions, besides obviously my family, my kids, and working. And so leading up to a spinal fusion, I said to the surgeon, I said, I want to make sure I can still do those three things after a spinal fusion. Make love every day, ride motorcycles, and play music. I haven't been on a motorcycle since my spinal fusion because I'm scared to balance it, because my legs go numb and weak out of nowhere. Still try to make love every day with my partner, but of course that hurts. There's pain associated with things. But you do what you got to do to facilitate something that you love to do with someone you love. So, but playing music, that's the toughest one right now because I can't do it. I can't stand on stage, for a half hour, 45 minutes, an hour and a half, 2 hours. And, my old bandmates have a new band here. Guys, check them out, Sixth Century. I should be in that band right now. They just opened up for Five Finger Death Punch. Played for, tens of thousands. I think close to 30,000 people, maybe. Big show, and it's just a kick-ass band with one of my best friends. So that's hard because the singer Mark is, just one of my closest friends, and I should be in that band with him. And I'm scared that I'll fall on stage or, lose feeling in my legs or something stupid. Even again, I also have the brain injury, so I can't be around flashing lights or that could put me into an aneurysm, or worse. And so that's really hard. But now here, these are my limitations as of right now. But something I haven't mentioned yet is that this past December 2nd, almost a year ago, because right now we're at the end of November, beginning of November, and we're approaching December. So this December, it will be a year ago that I was in a car accident. In my big, giant, lifted, huge excursion, that was the biggest thing on the road, and they still totaled it, cracked the front frame rail, the rad support, etc., if you know what that is. And this older person ran a red light, put his car right in front of my truck while I was going down the highway, and stopped in the middle of the road out of nowhere to try to get onto another highway. And I think he probably realized, oh, I can't go this way. He ran in front of me, and I slammed into him, and then pushed him into the guardrail, and then slammed into the guardrail. And the whiplash that I received in that accident was just horrific. It was horrible because it was like slam. Oh, you're done. Oh, wait, no, slam. Oh, wait, no, you're done. Okay, bam. And another one was like, it was very painful. And I actually lost feeling in my legs, and I thought that my spinal fusion had cracked or failed or something. And I thought, here we go. Now I'm paralyzed and I'm done, And then, fortunately, within about 2 hours, I got feeling back in my feet while I was in the hospital, and they relieved me of some of that pain immediately, they relieved me of some of that immediate pain, but I started to have a loss of feeling in my right arm. And ever since then, I've had a lot of trouble with my right arm. I have more trouble with my right leg. I have trouble up my neck, which is very painful. If I don't sleep just in one specific way, it's like my neck always hurts. Here's what I looked like right before the car accident. That's what I looked like right before the car accident. I was at least getting some function back in my legs, and like I was feeling hopeful I could train my legs again. Now I can't even stand on my legs without losing feeling. None of this is supposed to be a woe is me, moment. This channel, Healing Together, is for us to heal together and to support each other. And I share my experiences with those of you who may have it a little easier, but I know also many have it much worse. And so that's what we're here to do, is help each other through these. But again, there's some more additional information. And so ultimately, to answer the question, do I regret having my spinal fusion? Yes. Yes, I do. Unfortunately for me, having that surgery apparently was the only way that they could have taken the bone chips out of the two vertebrae. And once they did that, it's like there's nothing between my vertebrae. So what next? You got to put something back in there, I guess, right? So the only option I was given was a spinal fusion. So they opened up my vertebrae, fused me together, gave me about half an inch back in my height. Who the hell cares about that now? But once you have a very invasive procedure, you can't go back. We hear all these stories about people getting infections or Even like let's say like breast implants, right? A surgical procedure that they're going into your body. A lot of women get sick from implants, and I believe that it's because the body's not meant to experience such invasiveness with a lot of these modern procedures that we do. So I really want to tell you and encourage you all watching this. Do not consider surgery until you have literally exhausted every other option to live your life without the pain, maybe with better function. If you're not eating healthy, eating a non-inflammatory diet to keep inflammation out of the body, if you're not exercising a few times a week to daily, if you're not stretching, if you haven't done PT, if you're not doing hot and cold therapy, if you're not getting chiropractic adjustments periodically, massage therapy, if you haven't tried acupuncture, unless you are just in absolute debilitating pain all the time, nonstop, which ultimately, unfortunately, that's where I was. Because those bone chips between my vertebrae were horrible. They were horrific. I could feel them in there in my lower back, and it didn't make sense until we saw my MRIs. So just take surgery off the table. It's not an option until you've exhausted every other option to keep yourself healthy and feeling better. Okay? Do everything you can to heal your body on your own, naturally, homeopathically, organically, holistically. Do everything you can. And then once you've exhausted all of those options, that's when you have to ask yourself, is surgery my only option? But it will change your life, as it has changed mine permanently, forever. So friends, thanks again for watching this video. I hope that answers another question that I get all the time. You can find me on Instagram at Coach Hardgains with a Z. You can follow our team at Team Hardgains. For coaching and consultations, send an email to coachhardgains@gmail.com. My assistant will get back to you. And again, forgive us. It does take us quite a while to get through everything. And I hope and I pray that you all are at least living the best life you can in the least amount of pain. All right. Thanks for watching, guys. Catch you next video.